What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to the team building breakdown portion of today's battle. Sorry, I'm also watching the draft. So happy draft day, all my NFL football fans. Shout out to Joe Alt. Welcome to the Chargers, buddy. The Ravens are actually picking right now, and I'll probably check it out here in a second. It's pick 30. But anyway, today we're gonna be playing Jacob, as always, coach of the Greenbay Pikachus, a near dear friend. If you're here watching this video, you're a real one. You took the time to go down to the description and get this unlisted video, so I do appreciate you. Let's break down what we're thinking. I will also be reviewing, because I built this team like 5 days ago in preparation for this matchup. I actually just started a brand new job, and so I wanted to get that out of the way so I can continue learning everything that's new. I'm a business, I do business branding, so I help businesses, get their company up and running and such. So it's been really fun and such a blessing. But nonetheless, the team is up on screen now. Please leave a like on this video. It does still help out the channel a lot. I would highly appreciate it. The Greenbay Pikachus is Suicune, Cyclizar, Clodsire, Sylveon, Emboar, Yanmega, Registeel, Decidueye, Espeon, Knucklestack, and Bombirdier. And the Ravens just picked Nate Wiggins from Clemson. It's a good pick, good corner. So about the matchup, I do think the Pokemon they're gonna come are pretty obvious in regards to this matchup. I do see Suicune coming. Clodsire is basically a necessity. Yanmega is this Terra Captain. I see that coming. Registeel to help with Gardevoir as the fourth Pokemon I think comes. I could see Cyclizar and Emboar, but I can also see Cyclizar and Decidueye. Sylveon is a maybe, but that's my 2 cents from there. So first Pokemon that you see on screen here is Donphan. Donphan is going to come very physically defensive to come in on things like Cyclizar to be able to punish rapid spins with the Rocky Helmet, which would be really nice. Knockoff is to help us with the utility form of removing items. Rapid Spin is to remove Hazards on Eye side, because we do want to maintain Stealth Rock. As long as there's a Yanmega, we have to ensure Stealth Rock stay up to make sure that thing takes chip, because it is such a scary Pokemon. This is here to switch in on the Clodsire, on the Emboar, on the Registeel. Very good against his physical offense to get everything chipped down for our Rain Boys in the end game. Earthquake does great against Clodsire for super effective damage, Emboar for super effective damage, Registeel for super effective damage, all of which Donphan is coming in to check in the first place, so it really does help out in that sense of the matter. Knucklestack I don't think comes, but it can switch in on that Pokemon as well. So this is just to be a physically defensive wall and to get some very necessary chip damage on Pokemon that need to get that chip towards the end game. We're bringing Bumpus. Bumpus is my son's nickname, by the way. Snorlax is my 3rd favorite Pokemon of all time. We have Body Slam, Heavy Slam, Seed Bomb, and Ice Punch. 4 attacks, very bulky. This is going to be our first line of defense for the Yanmega. Very important to help check that Pokemon. Leftovers is there for our longevity. Body Slam does great neutral damage to almost everything on the team. The one thing I will note that is a little bit uncomfortable is that I don't do damage to Registeel. I don't plan on bringing in Registeel to Snorlax, because a body press from Registeel is already going to do a gargantuan amount of damage, so I don't want to leave Snorlax in on Registeel anyway, so I think I'm okay with it. Heavy Slam is there to for the Sylveon. Because Snorlax is here to check Yanmega, I do want to maintain Snorlax's HP for Yanmega, but if I have to, I can still switch it in on things like Sylveon, especially offensive Decidueye. It's able to come in on Suicune, which is super good. I don't know, for those who know, I looked this up. Thick Fat got a huge buff this generation, for those who didn't know. Thick Fat now grants an immunity to burn and to freeze, which is really cool, which means that Snorlax can come in on Suicune Scalds for free and threaten it with a Seed Bomb. Heavy Slam is there for Sylveon. Ice Punch does really well against the Yanmega if it wants to stay as a flying type, and if it tears into a flying type, it also does well against the Decidueye, which is really cool. So we want to have super effective damage on the majority of things that Snorlax is going to come in the first place. So we're very Spadef bulky and very physically offensive. The reason that we have so much offense on our Snorlax is because we want to make sure that if the Suicune is a substitute set, that if it's max Phys Def, we're still able to break the substitute 100% of the time, guaranteed. So that's why we have so much investment. But Snorlax is so Spadef bulky that it's really nice to be able to have some damage output. So it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. And I like that a lot for Snorlax. Next up we have is Prince Naveen. Politoed showing up with Drizzle and the Damp Rock to help power up the Water Boys, the Swift Swimmers. Both of them are showing up this game because it's the premise of the team. We're going to try to overwhelm Jacob with our boys. But Naveen is here to set up the rain. Surf and Ice Beam are all we really need against this team. It does super effective damage against the Clodsire if that wants to come in. It also does super effective damage on the Cyclizar. And if the Suicune wants to come in and starts to set up substitutes and Calm Minds, I have Perish Song to keep her from doing that, to be honest. Otherwise, Suicune is going to use Politoed for some annoying setup shenanigans. So I do want to have Perish Song there so that way Jacob cannot do that. It's also going to come up really nice that if we have more Pokemon than he does, or if he just has 1 Pokemon left in general, that allows us to facilitate that end game where we guarantee win, which is really cool. Hypnosis is there because I didn't really need anything else, and putting something to sleep to help get the Rain Boys in would be pretty nifty glifty. So very self-explanatory. Politoed's here to set up the rain, and it's able to put things to sleep and do some damage while it's in. First Swift Swim Rain Boy is going to be, so the 49ers just got their pick in. 2 more picks before round 1's over. We have Floatzel with the Mystic Water to be able to power up our water type moves in the rain, which would be very handy. Flip Turn, Wave Crash, Ice Spinner, and Bulk Up. Bulk Up is there primarily to take advantage of the Clodsire. If Clodsire wants to come in and is Water Absorb, then I can set up 1 Bulk Up and chew an Earthquake relatively nicely, and then 2-hit KO it with an Ice Spinner. If he is not Water Absorb, then he gets blown backwards by a Wave Crash. So that allows us to really take advantage of the Clodsire. It can't be unaware, or it can't be, I can have to find out if it's unaware or if it's Water Absorb. I'd rather find out that it's Water Absorb outside of Floatzel coming in and doing that. So that's a nice thing. Ice Spinner also allows us super effective damage on the Decidueye in case that Pokemon is the check for the Rain Boys. And that's really nice. Aside from that, Cyclizar doesn't really want to take a Wave Crash, to be completely honest with you. And if we're being upfront, neither does the Decidueye. So Floatzel does incredible damage with the Rain Boost plus the Mystic Water and Nipping Stab. Very good. We have enough speed to outspeed a +1 Cyclizar, which would be really nice. I believe we also outspeed a +2 Yanmega. If I remember correctly, I'll have to do some calcs, but I think that's what I did also. But I know that I guarantee literally everything. I outspeed everything, which is really nice. So Floatzel is going to be our possible endgame cleanup Pokemon. Our breaker is going to be Poncho. Ludicolo's holding the Life Orb. We have Surf, Leaf Storm, Ice Beam, and Encore. Encore is there to be able to come in on things like the Suicune's Calm Minds. Encore that in there, and then just start beating them down with some Leaf Storms, which would be really cool. It's also able to Encore the Clodsire into rocks or something like that. Encore, a lot of really cool stuff to be able to ensure that I'm able to come in relatively safely and just break the team. We have some bulk. We have enough speed with the Modest Nature to outspeed a Timid or Jolly max speed Scarfed Decidueye, which is really cool. Everything else we outspeed, barring anything other than Decidueye being Scarfed that's faster. We don't outspeed the Yanmega, but that's okay. We wouldn't have been able to outspeed a +1 Yanmega otherwise, so that's not the biggest deal in the world. Well, technically we could, but I did want to get the damage output from Ludicolo, and plus we have Floatzel to do that anyway. And if he's Speed Boost, that means he's not Tinted Lens, and being Speed Boost and not Tinted Lens means that Snorlax is able to handle him a little bit better. So it's it's trying to pick our poison, and I think that I'd rather take the speed boost Yon Mega versus the tinted lens Yon Mega, because the tinted lens Yon Mega does a lot of damage to the team, and it's most likely going to be specs. So we'll see what we can do with that. If he's fucking speed boost throat spray, then we'll figure that part out. For the most part, I think that Snorlax is able to handle the Yon Mega just fine. That's why we have to keep that health on Snorlax for the most part. We have 152 HP to be pretty bulky with ending in 9, so that we can get more life orb hits and stay nice and healthy. But Ludicolo is just going to come in early game and start help breaking the team and allow us to really put some big damage on the entire squad. Last up we have is our Terra Captain Cheesecake, which is once again going to be running Terra Electric. It's just so good. The combination of Terra Electric plus Double Shock does so much freaking damage to the entire team. Mach Punch is there for some priority on things like the Cyclozar, which we otherwise don't outspeed, and then Ice Punch is there for coverage with the Double Shock. Rested plus Natural Cure allows us to stay healthy on switch-ins whenever he wants to not take damage in front of whatever's in Palmot. And Natural Cure is really cool because it allows us to come in on the Suicune Scald, and even if I burn, I get myself burned, then that means if I switch out, then I remove that burn, which is kind of nifty-galifty. We have enough HP to end with that 9-digit, as well as the Resistance Bedef to come in on those Scalds, like we just talked about. So that's going to be Palmot. Again, another breaker. Poncho and Cheesecake are titled with the breaking potential of this team. Bumpus and Julio are going to take the wall aspect, and then Weasley is going to be our endgame. If we can facilitate an endgame where Floatzel's able to clean up the entire team, then that'll be really sweet. Naveen's going to be there as a support piece. He's just going to get the rain up and make sure everybody's wet. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, what the team is, what you would have done differently. Leave a like on this video, and I will see you guys in the matchup.